everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon, and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. All right, you guys, I have a video today. It's going to be a little bit controversial, but this is an extremely important topic, I think, especially if, as I believe it's true, this is something we all need to be aware of. So, with that intro, here we go. I'm going to begin by asking you a question. I will tell you up front, my answer is yes. Let's see what you think. Leave your comment below. Tell me what you think about this, and let's get going. So what is your thought on feminism actually being the Jezebel spirit? That feminism is something that is brought to us courtesy of an evil spirit, an evil biblical spirit that wants to come in and destroy family, destroy women, destroy humanity. That this is not, that feminism is not, as it's touted to be, a benefit to women, this great thing for women, and women need special rules and laws and whatever, special accommodations and whatever it is. That none of that is true. This has never been about women. It's all about destroying women and the families that they love, destroying children. That's what I think feminism really is, that has been brought to us by an evil spirit. Now, I know for some people that can sound extremely bizarre. So at this point, before I get into what the Jezebel spirit is versus what feminism is and why I think they're connected, let's just start here, because you're either going to be with me or not from this point on. And I completely understand that this sounds crazy. There was a time in my life, most of my life, this would have been insane. Are you kidding me? Please, this gobbledygook. I never would have believed it. But see, I didn't grow up with the benefit of religion. And maybe that was good, I don't know. But I don't have this background of it. So spiritual warfare, heaven, hell, Satan, this is crazy talk to me. However, at the same time, and I think this happens to a lot of people, when you've been involved with a narcissist, you live in a new reality. The world you thought you knew doesn't exist. You become aware at some point that, let me put it this way. It wouldn't be possible for somebody to be married to a narcissist long-term and never know. Now, you might not know about narcissism, but they would not keep that personality hidden from you. You would know who they are as a person. You would know. They would do things. You would know about it. So that's not possible. Right? So that wouldn't be possible. Just like if you're with a narcissist, there comes a point where you are absolutely unequivocally aware that they are evil and there's something really wrong, and you start considering, could this be outside of humanity? Is there something spiritual going on here, otherworldly? What the hell's going on? And that's exactly what I think is going on. That our world is not what we think it is. Or not what I thought it was, I should say. I shouldn't speak for you, but it's crazy to me, but I believe that this is true. Our world really is. We're in spiritual warfare. Spiritual warfare, I used to think, was kind of an internal battle between you and God. No, that our world, literally, there are evil demons roaming around this earth wanting to hurt and destroy us because God is our Father above. Now, this is irrespective of religion. I'm basically saying that there's a good and there's a bad, and that the bad wants to win, just like the good wants to win. But the bad is really active and trying to infiltrate us to its side, and we don't know. We have no idea. So we fall for these ideas like feminism or wherever else it is, and we think it's good. But what if it isn't? What if it's actually coming from somewhere else? I have come to believe that our world is nothing like I thought it was. I believe that, this is where I'm telling you, with me or against me from this point on. I think that there is a group of people, loosely people, at the top, and our politicians are under them. And that we think I heard someone say this recently, and this just hit me so hard. I think it's a joke if we think that we really have power in the government to elect people, or beginning to think that that is absurd. To think that us little people really have that much sway. That if we really had that power, they wouldn't let us have it, is what I heard someone say. If voting, if that really made a difference, we wouldn't be allowed to do it. And there's something about that just hit me, right or wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. I can see that being true. So with that said, what if our world really is run by evil entities that want to keep us from finding salvation, from being with God? What if that's really happening and feminism is included in it? Right? So this is where we're going from here. So now that I'm going from a spiritual level, I truly believe that there are evil entities. Oh no, actually, let me explain that too when I talk about what I mean by spirits or evil entities. Derek Prince he's passed on now, but he was a renowned theologian, and this was what he described demons as: persons without bodies. Right? So think about it. So you're a person without a body. You need a body to do anything. Imagine if you had no body, but you're conscious, but you would need to put that consciousness into something. So like if I was an alcoholic, right? I need a body, throat, mouth to drink. I can't do that without it. Or whatever it is, whatever you're doing. If I want to rob a store, I need hands, eyes, I need a body. So you need a body. So here we have these beings coming around and they infiltrate into people. They come into you. And I think this is what happens to narcissists, that there's demons within them. They have whatever else they were, whatever else they could have been, they have been fully corrupted by evil. And we can see it when we're with them. But what if this is happening everywhere else too? And we don't see it. And we're so used to believing things are true. We're told it. I mean, think about it. Now, I know this seems like an absurd example, but try to go here with me. We're taught that 2 + 2 is 4. That's hardwired into you. Now, I know you can say, but it is 4. Like, just regardless of that, we're taught that's right. It's hardwired. It would be very difficult to convince somebody that wasn't true, even if ultimately it wasn't true, if that makes sense. So I think we're here when it comes to these demons or these spirits on earth, right? They want to infiltrate us, and they want to change the way that we think, and they want us to do things that are bad for us, and they want to keep us away from God. So when it comes to the Jezebel spirit, Jezebel comes from the Bible. So she was a queen in Israel. She was married to King Ahab, and he was King Ahab. King Ahab was a beta male to the extreme. And so here he was, this aimless guy, this walking around this palace, whatever, and he sees his neighbor has a vineyard. He wants his vineyard. Now, Jezebel, this is the thing, I'll tell you. If you're living in a house with a man, if there's a man and woman, somebody is going to be the one that is the main decision maker. And traditionally that falls to the male. That's like that comes natural to them, right? Just whatever. Like, not everybody, of course, but I'm just saying, if a man is not there, the woman is going to have to step up. And this is what's been happening in our society. And women think differently than men, right? And when you have an evil influence on a woman or a man, of course, it goes both ways, by the way, bad things are going to happen. So here we have King Ahab, and he's this useless beta male. He has no control in his house, right? His wife is doing whatever the heck she wants, and she's going crazy doing anything. And he wants his vineyard. So she decides, so he gets mad. So I'm sorry, I'm going to go backtrack. He wants his vineyard. So he goes and he asks the neighbor, he tries to buy the vineyard. The neighbor won't sell it to him. So Ahab, instead of dealing with it, he goes to bed. He just gets in bed. He just climbs into bed and just cries, or whatever he's doing. He pathetically just gets into bed, all right, with this. And Queen Jezebel comes around. Here she is. And what's wrong? What's going on? So he bemoans his terrible fate, this horrible thing that happened to him. And she takes care of it. So I'm going to take care of this. So she takes care of it by going out, and she accuses him of a crime he didn't do. He gets killed. The vineyard becomes her husband. So now he has this vineyard. Now Jezebel was going crazy everywhere. But this is the Jezebel spirit. So it's a woman who is out of control. A woman who has an issue with patriarchy, doesn't like men, controls and manipulates men, promotes sexual immorality. I mean, you can just basically you can do whatever you want. No holds barred. If you want to do it, if you're feeling it, it's your life. You only have one life. You should do it. That doesn't benefit society at all. To convince women, and this is just, guys, really think about this. To convince a woman somehow that dressing half naked and doing whatever, going crazy, doing whatever you want, walking around half naked, drawing all this attention to yourself is freedom. But having a child, that your child that you love and want to take care of, that somehow is a bad thing. Children are such a problem, such a pain. I got to take care of my child. What a burden on me. It's never on the man, it's on the woman. Oh, I have to lose my career. Well, your career. Well, I'm not saying women shouldn't have careers, by the way, because if you want to have a career, but you already can have a career. Why do you need feminism to encourage you to have a career? If you want to have a career, have a career. But a lot of women, when they have babies, want to be with their kids. They're not thinking about their career. And let me give you a quote. Just understand this. This is a quote from John D. Rockefeller. Feminism is a movement initiated to create more workers for the factories. All right, so there's nothing good behind this. And it's encouraging women, it's convinced women that children are a burden, they're a problem, and they're disposable. Just get rid of them, have someone else raise them. Let's have another program. Let's get them in school earlier. Let's do this. Basically your child belongs to the government, and the government doesn't want your child to have a relationship with God. It wants it to be a worker. I think our world is meant to have us completely taken away from God and just work for Satan, be selfish. I mean, everything today, there's an agenda being pushed that is all about selfishness. Everything's about you. I matter more than anybody else. Or what about my feelings? Or me. I'm proud of myself. These are all anti-biblical values. Now, whether you believe in the Bible or not, it's how a society is run that is a good society to live in. Women abandoning their families, being so anti-man that there's just a hatred. And I'll tell you something, men are changing today too. There's something happening. This is why I'm making this video. Something is happening. I can't imagine that you don't see it. Tell me if I'm going crazy here. But men are more and more turning into these beta males. Masculinity is an evil entity in our world. Single motherhood is empowerment. Being a single mother sucks. It's horrible. It's so hard being a single mother. And when you're a single mother trying to raise a boy by yourself, good luck. This is the society that we have been into. This is the society that we live in that's being destroyed. More and more divorce. And I cannot help but think about this. We have this Jezebel spirit, and it's here. It's been around. It encourages women to go insane. Encourages women to do anything but be good mothers. Anything but be good wives. Men are evil. They're bad. And the thing is, I want to tell you, men falling for this crap too, because in some ways I feel like feminism benefits men way more than it could ever benefit a woman. Think about it this way. Nowadays, men have to do less because women are doing more, right? They don't have to pay all the bills. Like they're expecting 50-50 from women. All these crazy things that are coming in. We have these 50-50 beta men, right? We have men who just want to believe that women are subjugated, and they act like they're, let me try to describe this. This is something that drives me crazy. When you have a man act like a woman really needs to work more or really wants a career, like, oh, all women want a career. Oh, you definitely want to be away from your kids and have your career. No, they don't. Not all women think that. I think most women who have children don't think that. But even when you think about it, you have this myth of how women make less than men. It's just not true. We're talking in an average. Women, on average, once they have kids, end up working part-time and quitting. You don't see a lot of high career women in their 50s and 60s. You just do not. 30s, 40s, 20s, yeah, people are, and I'm not, by the way, I have no problem with a woman having a career. I have a career, so I have no problem with it. It's when it's pushed against your will. When it's supposed to be, you're stupid and foolish to think otherwise. You have to do this, it's best for the kids, and it's just, we're like little factories, pumping out kids, pumping them into the school system, pumping them out into the workforce. It's one thing after another. Life doesn't need to be that way. I think our natural inclination is not to have it be that way. But when I think about just more and more and more, there's a division. Women as a whole, I'll tell you this, I've never been with a bunch of women ever, never, not once, when it has not turned into making fun of men. Oh, you know how men are, or someone will say something about their husband, you know how that, of course, typical man. That is all the time. And we see this in TV, books. Men are always, the father especially, is an idiot. He doesn't know what's going on. Think about movies, TV shows. The father is never the strong one. It's always the mother. The father is this bumbling idiot. I mean, we're brainwashed into seeing fathers, men, as losers. And they're turning into this, right? So these beta men are everywhere. It's insane. Men are afraid to take charge. I mean, a manly man could have any woman he wants, because women crave that. There's this, people can say what they want, but there is a biological drive in you. Women want certain things that are different than men want. Of course, some are different. Yes, of course, but by and large, women want family. They want that connection. I mean, we just do. And men are driven to work for that. I don't know so much anymore, but our society is being changed by evil. The things that were good that people used to aspire to are now being told they're bad. Women are supposed to just be free of their families, just do whatever they want. Anything goes. And if you look down on it, it's your life, it's your power, it's whatever people say today. It's absolutely insane. Women are people think, feminists are worried about, women and women empowerment. Should worry about what's really happening. We don't need to get more careers or better paying jobs. So that was where I don't want to lose my train of thought on that too, when I was talking about paycheck. Women don't make less than men at all. That's a complete fabrication lie. It's because women work less than men and tend to work lower paying jobs. That's why. If you're doing an average, a male average, female average, all males together, all females together, it doesn't mean that men are making more money. That's such a bull crap thing. It's not true. It's because of the work that women do. And this is the reality, and our society is trying to change this. It's trying to make it so that there are no families. It's just workers. You have a kid, put them in the government system, the government indoctrination system, go through the K through 12, then they can spend $200,000, at college. In the meantime, they'll have 1 million vaccinations, and we'll keep poisoning the food, and we'll just make your life a miserable hell, and you'll never have the family that you wanted. And anything that you think that's natural, you say anything kind towards God, or you want to have a biblical family, or you want to take your family to church on Sunday, well, you're just stupid. What's wrong with you? Look at this loser. That's what our society has turned into. And I personally believe that the Jezebel spirit is a spirit out to hurt women. And what better way to hurt a woman than to destroy her family? As a mother, the best, if you want to hurt me, you could hurt me many ways. But if you want to hurt me the worst way, hurt my kids. That's a reality. That hurts God. We're his children. When we're hurt, he's hurt. When your children's hurt, when your child is hurt, that hurts you more than if it hurts yourself. So this is what our world is about. It's teaching us, encouraging us to hurt our own children. right? Like, oh, it was inconvenient body inside my body, just get rid of it, right? Or I just put my kid in daycare. I just need this. I need more help. I need more money. No, maybe people should start looking at society. We could change society from within. We could do it, but we'd all have to get together. And who's going to do that? You're going to do it by yourself? I'm not going to do it by myself. I'm not going to try to fight this by myself, but I can bring ideas out there or tell you things that I've observed or think, and things I think we really should talk about. And this is one of them. So let me know. Feminism, Jezebel spirit, are they merged together in an unholy alliance to bring our world down? Or am I wrong? And maybe I should just worry about making as much money as men. So let me know what you think. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys next week, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. God bless.